The impact of Kenny versus Penny on my life. Holy shit. Oh my god. This is a huge post. This is incredible. Kenny versus Penny. Okay, so let's start with the beginning. I have these good memories for shit that don't matter, and this is one of the shit that don't matter. I used to watch Trailer Park Boys. I was 10. I was 10, 11. And it showed that Showcase, which is a Canadian station that was going about, bro, this channel was crazy. We're talking about the 2003, and it was a porn show on TV. It was at 10 o'clock, and I could watch it, right? So I was like, holy shit, this channel is insane. And every single night at 6:30, there was a show, at 6 o'clock, sorry, there was a show called Trailer Park Boy, right? And slowly but surely, since it gained popularity, since the season came in, because after season 3, only 6 episodes per episode, per season, so that's not a lot. So, and the very first, season we had the show, we had another whole show after, and in Care when I discovered Trailer Park Boys was season 3, and a year after we had an hour, we had from 6 to 7, and then they replaced the 6:30 slot with Kenny vs. Penny. I watched one episode of that and I got bored. I was like, oh, this show is shitty. I'm not liking it. I don't fuck with this. Fuck that. And as I grew up, we had Wi-Fi at home, and when it was one of the first show I watched, Trailer Park Boys. I'm loyal to a point. Then I was getting my suggest boss. I was getting a lot of show because Showcase was again the producer or the people behind Trip Our Boys and Kenny vs. Penny. So those are two shows that was highly popular. They put on YouTube. Kenny vs. Penny still is on YouTube on Kenny Osh channel. One of the two participant contestants. Kenny vs. Penny was a show I discovered really late in life, but not late enough to have a complete identity. I was still trying to figure out life itself. I was at a time where I had no friend. I was at a time where I was looking for who I was because I just finished high school. And now that I wasn't working, I wasn't going to school, I was like, okay, well, what am I supposed to do? What is life right now? Who am I? Because I was defined by being a son, by being a student, but now I'm defined by nothing. I'm just defined by my own existence, and that's scary. Kenny vs. Penny came at a time where I thought I was being a good person, and I probably wasn't. Kenny vs. Penny came at a time where I thought being a good person was everything that mattered. But I then, thanks to this show, realized that the good person don't always win. The good person isn't always wrong. Right, sorry. Sometimes the bad person, even though they came again, it's all a question of attention, right? So this is a show about a competition, right? And the winner gets glory. The loser gets a humiliation, right? So in this very case, it's not about the grand scheme of things. It's about two friends not wanting to be humiliated, and although it's a very short scale for the consequences, the actual action behind it, I think that in a lot of cases, Kenny was the better person because he I wanted to root for Spenny. I wanted to honestly, I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. I wanted to root for Spenny, 100%. Because Spenny was a good person. He didn't want to cheat. He was gonna be the hardworking guy. And I was like, fuck, this guy is somebody I can identify with. Let me just drink some water. You got thirsty as fuck. You can tell I don't know how to drink. So yes, we have Kenny. But then we realized that Spenny was constantly whining. And sure, Kenny was cheating. But if you know somebody's gonna cheat, you're not gonna be playing fair, and you keep on playing fair, then you're asking for defeat. And at a point where it's no longer him that's cheating, it's you that's constantly being fooled, right? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And then we have Kenny. Kenny, I didn't want to like him. He had this fucked up humor. He was a comedic relief. He wasn't serious. Could see most of these contests were lasting 3 days. Kenny would work one day out of the three. Spenny would work the entire 3 days, and I was like, fuck, how is the guy winning, right? He's cheating. It's not fair. But then I realized that behind the scene, he was doing all the work. Kenny was a better person because the way he treated the crew. The crew, I come from a family where my father was a union of this company leader. He was the union representative. So right at a very young age, I was taught that the way you treat people, the way that the people treat the bosses, it is a proof that, oh, a boss is good, a boss is not good, right? And Kenny, you had this friendship with the crewmates, And I was like, well, maybe he isn't that bad a person, because if he was an asshole, they wouldn't be his friend, right? Even if he's paying them. So we had Kenny, who again arguably is a better person than Spenny. And I know this is wrong saying this, because you shouldn't say, oh well, this person is better, they're different. However, Kenny, yes, he would cheat, but he would respect the rules. He would cheat, knowing the rules. He would cheat with brilliant manner. He was making the show. If it was only about spending, the show would be boring. And then they told me that, yo, I identify actually more with Kenny and Spenny. Maybe my perception of life isn't good. Maybe there's time where being an asshole is necessary, right? And I think that this showcase a lot in the show. Uh, this is super important because Kenny versus Penny, yes, it's about two friends competing, but it's about two different perspectives in life, two different perspectives, and the way things should be done and things need to be. And although they're different, they lead to the same result, because they both lead to this competition. They both lead to wanting to win, right? And yeah, so this show was tremendous. It was super. It's super funny. It's memeable. Of course, there's things that they're saying there that's awful, but this show is fucking 10 years old. So of course, time changed, right? This is why I want to do a post on Kenny versus Penny, because this show is super important to me.